What happened to civility? What happened to people acting like, let's just say, the typical comparison of shining white knights? I mean, seriously, what happened to the simple civility of men? I don't see a lot of boys nowadays acting like they can give girls consideration. What I see are boys acting inappropriately with their pants sagging down. I'm not saying everybody does that. It's just been kind of common for me. But I know a lot of guys in my classes that don't sag their pants. And to be honest, what happened to the good men and women who are willing to be civil? What happened to the basics of this country? What happened to freedom of speech? When there's hate speech laws, or hate speech in general. You know what? I'm still confused about this whole topic of hate speech. Don't tell me it's just whatever offends somebody, or microaggressions, or... It's just always been on my mind. I think I might as well speak to everybody and address this. It's a nice rainy day. Stay in, perfect to watch YouTube. Well, no, it depends on whenever you watch this. I was saying before, what happened to civility? And how people can have civil discussions, and be civil. Like, how are you doing today? And did you hear about this? Well, I disagree with it, but I can understand where you're coming from. Did you hear about this topic, though? At that point, I do agree with you on some end. Civility. Having a calm tone while you're talking. Being able to keep your cool during a conversation, even though you disagree with somebody. Don't fly off the handle. Even though I tend to fly off the handle when someone disagrees with me, I do apologize. Well, at least I try to. But I do have some mental issues of my own. And no, it's not autism, despite being vaccinated, like some of you, like some idiots out there. I don't know why people think vaccines cause autism. Autism is a natural born defect. It's not really a defect. I've seen it actually improve some folks, but... you know. But to be honest, I want to talk about one unpopular right. The freedom of speech. Every day there's hate speech mentioned. And I haven't really encountered it. Well, at least I don't know what it is. So feel free to shout at me in the comments what I'm saying is hate speech. I'll find ways to block you. I don't care if I lose any followers on Instagram or friends on Facebook. But to be honest, what I really care about is the freedom I have in this country. I don't want to have to leave for fear of my life just because some Black Lives Matter person just storms in and says white supremacist. I have a fetish for black dudes. Yeah, an actual fetish. No, I'm not lying about that, if you're wondering. I'm not lying about that in any slightest case. I don't really want to lie. This is just all coming straight from the mouth. No lie here. I've only got a limited space on this dang phone, but I'll record until I can. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible, but I have a lot to cover. And only, 17 minutes and 22 seconds to cover it? Yeah, that's about as much space on my phone as I can handle. I have lots of stuff downloaded anyway. I want to apologize for being a bit scatterbrained. That's just normal me. But I won't apologize for being a conservative. So, you mob out there, I know there will be. But there's some things I am afraid of. And one of those does happen to be Islam. Yeah. I'm a little bit of an Islamophobe. Mainly because of what they do to Christians. People and infidels, to be honest. Theft. I don't want my hands cut off, according to Sharia law. I don't want to be stoned, just in case I end up losing my virginity. Or committing adultery outside of marriage. Or have my rights taken away for being a woman. That's scary. I also want to say this to the feminists out there. Why aren't you defending the women in the Middle East? Come on. That's not cool if you're ignoring them. They really need help out there. They're being oppressed. There. Not in the States. In fact, I think women are actually more empowered in the States than they are in like Pakistan or Afghanistan or even Iraq because of the Islam. I still remember learning in history class that Muslims are actually responsible for algebra. To that, I'll say I give them a pat on the back. But to be honest, I still hate math. But to be honest, what artist hates math? I don't feel like a typical artist for hating math, but to be honest, many of you have seen my YouTube channels and my YouTube channel by now and probably think I'm stupid. I'm not exactly using YouTube well, but oh, come on. I'm just posting content that I think is fun. And now I'm approaching a serious topic and everyone's just going to bash me for it. No doubt. I'm going to be likely putting this under PragerU hashtag. Probably. I like PragerU. They helped me understand some topics that I was in the dark about. Yeah, I'm grabbing something. You know what it is. It's not exactly the same translation, but I want to actually quote a verse that I know. Now, this one has obviously stuck with me for a while, that I can quote it off the top of my head. But to be honest, I'll forgive anybody who threatens me in the comments, as I have learned that I have been threatened before and said I was an evil little bitch for breaking up with somebody. And it was just a friend defending them. We have since gone back together, though. But the verse goes like this: if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and cleanse us of all unrighteousness. 1 John 1:9. Look it up. And look up 1st and 2nd Corinthians. Read through those books as Paul is like talking to the church in Corinth. Because my church recently covered a series called Unified. And we were and a lot of the things that we were covering was that We're like ambassadors. And everyone kind of has probably gotten an idea of what an ambassador is. Right? Basically, an ambassador represents their country while living in a different country. And it represents the ideals of said country. An ambassador for Christ lives in a different world entirely. They're a new person once they have given their life to Christ. And that's what I remember from my sermon. Unity is important to this country. Unity against a common cause. Unity for a common cause. And I don't think racism, however prevalent it may be, is the main cause of this country splitting apart. But it does seem that racism is big against straight white people. I'm not exactly straight. Like I said, I'm bi. But it just seems like a lot of Asians, especially I would think Filipinos, are getting a lot of bad attention. But I think a lot of people are getting bad attention, like black conservatives. I like this one Prager University video that said that, like, black conservatism is like punk rock. Even though I don't typically like punk rock, I think I can understand the comparison. I like rock. But I also like Celtic, considering some of my ancestry does lie in the Celtic region. As I said before, what happened to civility? It's just been tossed out the window, I think. Most leftists probably toss it out the window as soon as they see a conservative. Or see someone that disagrees with them. There's a major problem with that. You can't have a discussion without yelling every few seconds because the person is either a racist, Islamophobe. Now, I have really nothing against Muslims. It's more likely the radicalists that I have a problem against. But the religion, it still scares me. And I know one person who has differing opinions and is living under this. It's kind of scary to see what's happening to him. But to be honest, why can't leftists ever actually talk to a conservative properly? To be honest, I just want to have one civil conversation with the leftists. Why can't you just do that? That's really all for now. Diana Evans, Star out.